Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. How the heck is everyone? How y'all doing? I am walking my dogs because it is, well, not because it's beautiful, because I need to take a shit probably and pee. Oh my gosh. Every time. Anyway, because they have to go potty. And so I figured, hey, why not do a podcast while my dogs are pooping? That seems appropriate, right? That seems like a good combo. Holding a phone while also walking dogs and trying to pick up their poop while garbage trucks and the world goes by. Perfect recipe for a podcast, right? I thought so. That's why I'm doing so well, top of the ratings. But speaking of that, I appreciate every single one of you, every person, whatever you identify as, wherever you are, whatever country you are in, whatever religion you are, whatever political affiliation, sexual orientation, gender you identify as. I appreciate you all. I do. Even if I pick on you, even if I make fun of you and think that, you dress funny. That's okay. Not everyone likes the way I dress. Not everyone agrees with my political affiliation. Not everyone agrees with my beliefs either. So it's all right. We're the same. So I appreciate everybody that listens to me in spite of the fact that I may pick on them. Again, shout out to France and Canada and lefties. I don't think that there's lefties that listen to me, I feel like, but then maybe there are. And shout out to them. Anyway, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. What has been keeping me up? Well, my cat, still. For those that have not been listening to my other podcasts, well, first of all, do so. Go out and do so. What are you waiting for? They're not very long. You can listen to them while you're in a car, while you're in the shower, whatever. Well, probably not the shower. That's a really long shower, but still, let's not waste water. I don't want to promote wasting water to listen to my podcast, but I've been complaining about my poor cat, who I love very much, and he is between 21 and 23 years old. We know he's no younger than 21, but he could be 23. And I think he's starting to get dementia. But his favorite thing in the world is to just wake me up 800 times in the middle of the night when I have finally, it's like he waits for me to go to sleep. And then he's like, and now. And then he starts walking over the top of me and getting his face in my face to where his whiskers keep tickling me. Or he takes his claw and he pokes at me over and over again. Or he goes, meow, 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 while walking across my face, or meow, meow, while poking my my cheek. I have little pincushion pokes all over my face. I look ridiculous. I look like a hot mess. It's embarrassing. And this is because my cat probably has dementia and I feel horrible for him. And I don't know what to do because when I try to put him outside of my room, he just meows outside the door. And you would think that he would stop meowing at some point, but you would be wrong. That guy's a champ. He's tenacious. He is stubborn. He's got the follow through. He's got the stamina and he just keeps going and it's relentless. But I'm like, good for you for not giving up. Bad for me because he just doesn't quit. And he quite literally, and I mean the word literally, the minute I open up the door because I have got back home or because I went to take the garbage out and I walked back through the door. Anytime I walk through the front door, it could be that I've been home all day and I left just to take garbage out and walked through the door. It doesn't matter. He constantly meows at me when I walk through the door thinking that it's time to eat, because to him, walking through the door means I just got back from work and therefore it's time to eat. But he doesn't realize that I didn't just get back from work. I just saw him 3 minutes ago. Or I'll go down to get something out of the car or something, and he will start meowing as if it's time to eat again. And I'm like, dude. So now I just kind of give him little bits of food, just like little nuggets in the morning and throughout the day. I just kind of periodically feed him throughout the day, so that I thought that might help, but it has not so far. So far, it has not helped, but poor guy. It's not his fault. He's older than dirt. He looks really good, though. He does not look like the crypt keeper or anything. The vet is very impressed. He is doing amazing. He just might end up being, I think the world's oldest cat was something like 34 years old or something, which is freaking insane. Like, that is 34. It was 34 or 36, honestly. Got to look it up. But it was like 34, 36, somewhere in there. And obviously this person must have been having great documentation of how old his cat was, and obviously had it since a kitten and could verify and had, good records to show that and prove that. But that is like insane. So I'm hoping maybe my cat will get up there and also, get up in his 30s, because he is looking fantastic. But I do think that he is getting some dementia, though. That's the problem. I think that he's like starting to go a little crazy. So unfortunately, that has totally been keeping me up. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I'm walking my dog and walking my dogs, and I'm out in a public place, and I didn't realize that there was someone like right next to me. That's what my dogs were barking at. Sorry, I got all weird because I'm sitting here talking into my phone looking like a crazy person, but I didn't realize there was someone behind me. So anyway, I just wanted to say, sorry, I am so sidetracked right now. There's a lot going on. This was a bad idea. Whose idea was this to start this podcast when I'm walking my dog? Anyway, we'll just probably scrap this one. But in case I decide to throw it in there anyway, just for an extra, people are like, what in the fuck? Why the hell did she decide to put this podcast out? She's just put this podcast out. She's literally rambling on about her freaking cat. Dogs are barking, trucks are going by, and it has no substance. We're not talking about a damn thing, and I've wasted my time for this. People are going to be like, thanks, Courtney. Thanks. But hey, I mean, if you're on your way to work and you have nothing else to do than to sit in your car, at the very least, you can laugh at me and you can make fun of me and be like, this person, when she said ramblings of an insomniac, holy fuck, she was not joking. She rambles about quite literally, well, not literally nothing, but about really nothing of substance. But we'll get there. We'll get there. That's just one of the things keeping me up. Remember, I talk about all the things keeping me up. What if the other thing that's keeping me up is something really juicy? And if you didn't listen to this podcast, you're like, everybody would be talking about it. It's like a game when like the underdog wins and they all went to the game and people left early and then they didn't see like the shot that ended up winning the game or whatever. And then everyone's talking about it, but your dumbass left before the game was over. So you didn't get to see like the shot or the play of the century. What if I just drop some big news that you're like, what? And then everyone's talking about it and you're like, oh my God, I turned her off because she was just going on and on about her freaking cat. And then all of a sudden I say something. Who knows? It could be that, right? No, it's not. I'm just going to tell you right now, if you guys feel like turning me off, I totally understand. No woman ever says that, right? Go ahead, turn me off. It's cool. Just turn me off. First time that men will hear that. But no, if you think that it's not worth listening to, you shouldn't. You shouldn't waste your time. Life is short. Don't waste it with podcasts that don't get your attention. Don't waste it on stuff that doesn't hold your attention, because life is short. I really don't have a whole lot to say. It's not going to be anything life altering other than I have been procrastinating. It's keeping me up because my poor mom, I had her cremated and I spread the majority of her ashes in Astoria, where she would have wanted them, with my dad's ashes. And I wanted to take a little out to Lebanon, where she's from. So I kept some, and I kept some because I wanted to make I didn't know if I wanted to do a necklace or do something. I wasn't sure. But then now I have a lot of her ashes left. And I got an urn for my dog, and my poor mother has been sitting in a box on my shelf. Like, that is rude. I feel like I am being really disrespectful, but I just was like, there's quite a bit left. I didn't know how much I was going to spread. There's like enough left that I could get an urn, but then I look like I've got this urn for my mom, urn for my dog, and then I put my mom and dad's ashes together. So it's a mixture of my mom and dad's ashes. So I was going to put them in a small urn. But the problem is I'm not going to dump the rest of their ashes here, because they have no attachment to the valley. That's not where, my mom does. She's from Lebanon, but I was going to bring her to Lebanon. She has no attachment to anywhere I live. And she'd probably be pretty ticked at me if I spread the rest of her ashes around here. So then I was like, well, I'm going to have to get a pretty big urn, but I don't want a big urn. They're weird. I got a small one for my dog I don't want to say weird because I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. If you have a big urn for your family, then that is awesome, because we each have our own thing that we like. So you like that. I prefer a little smaller thing. But my poor mother has been sitting in a fucking box, just chilling on my shelf, which is weird. That's a real conversation piece, though, if you're trying to meet somebody and you take them to the bedroom and they're like, what's that box? And you're like, oh, my parents' ashes. No big whoop. Now, on to what we were doing. It's like, you just have your parents' ashes chilling in a box. Yep, that's how I roll. I know, it's disrespectful. And I keep honestly being weird for all kinds of psychological reasons. And then I have my mom's dog, who is actually doing great as far as he's running around. His teeth are just really bad. He's got some, like I said, he can see shadows. He can see shadows, but other than that, he can't see. And he's losing his hearing. He can still hear, but he's like half deaf. But man, he just zips right along and he has a good time. So I don't want to put him to sleep, but his teeth are really bad and they've got to be hurting him. And I am not about keeping an animal alive to make ourselves, that's just selfish. We shouldn't keep them alive for us. If they're suffering, if their quality of life isn't good, well, then I think, we need to unfortunately make decisions that are best for our furry, family members. And, dog, cat. I didn't want to say dog because some of us have cats and horses and whatever it is. But, it's selfish of us to keep an animal alive and suffering. But obviously, it's really difficult to let them go because they're our family and we love them like family. And letting them go hurts like losing a family member. And I just lost my best friend, my girl. And so I am definitely am in no mood to have another one put down. And not to mention the fact that it's my mom's dog. And I feel like, it's what I have left of my mom. So I'm being all weird. Sorry, now I'm picking up poop again. Don't mind me in this bag sounding. It's just me picking up shit. Such is my life. That's like my life. It should be like the poop scooper. Although I choose to do that. I choose to go around fixing other people's problems and then complaining about it. That is why this year I have said over and over, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to do what's best for me, and other people can work out their own stuff like grown-ass adults. We all need to take care of our own poop. We need to clean up our own poop, clean up our own messes. No one needs to follow you around with the shovel. Anyway, oh, yes, and digressing happens a lot. So again, I get it if I'm not your cup of tea. I do this a lot. I'm talking about cremation, and then I'm talking about shoveling shit, you know? It somehow goes hand in hand, I guess. But anyway, we need to do that in life in general. If it's making us miserable, if our quality of life isn't good, then we need to change some things. If we are suffering because of maybe a partner that we're with, because maybe a job that we have, because maybe a living situation we have, a roommate or something, maybe whatever the case may be, I feel like it's quality over quantity. I mean, of course, we'd all love to live a long, long life, obviously. But while we're doing this thing, we may as well make ourselves happy. I'm not saying be selfish all the time. I'm not saying, be self-absorbed and have the sun and the moon revolve around us. We have enough of that going on. Lord knows we don't need more. But I'm saying it is okay to put ourselves first sometimes. It is okay to have jobs and partners that we actually like. I mean, in fact, it's preferable to have jobs and partners that we actually like. We should. And sometimes, yes, sometimes we have to have a job that we don't like because we need to pay our bills and we just need to have a job. And maybe it's not the best job and maybe it's not where we're going to be for the rest of our life. Sometimes you have to have a job that maybe isn't great at first to pay the bills. But hopefully your goal is to get something that makes you happy, because I'm here to tell you, at 51, you don't want to be living your life for everybody else all the time. You don't want to be everybody's pooper scooper. And plus nobody else, they may say that they want you to fix their problems. They may ask you to, but I think deep down they don't. I think they need to have their own pride and respect for themselves and confidence that they can do it, and see what it feels like to fall and fail and then have to pick that up. I know that I used to be pissed off at my parents because they would make me do things. Henry, come on, Henry. Good boy. Come on. Good gravy. Henry, let's go. Goodness. He's about ready to be Jessica down the well. About to be little baby Jessica down the well. Only some people will understand that reference. It'll show your age, like mine, if you understand that reference. If you don't, just look it up. Little baby fell down a well, and they had to get her out of the well. Doesn't sound like a big deal, but she was a little kid. She was like 2 or something like that. She was down there for a couple of days, and it was a whole thing. And anyway, so yeah, don't live your life picking up other people, butting in. I have a horrible tendency of giving unsolicited advice to my children, and they are not fans. And I understand why, because I was not a fan of unsolicited advice from my parents when I was an adult. It used to drive me insane. I'm like, I am a freaking adult. And even if, I was making a horrible decision. I mean, obviously, if it's like a life or death thing, if we're talking drugs or drinking and driving or abuse or whatever, obviously, I think parents should intervene. And if you're a minor, parents should intervene because you're a minor. And if it's a life or death kind of thing, if it's something that can harm your adult, son or daughter, then obviously I think you should 100% intervene. But otherwise, I am really having a hard time learning to butt out, keep my mouth shut. Keeping my mouth shut has not been my forte in my life. I've been told this is not my thing. Every report card, good student talks too much, good student talks too much. And I tend to say whatever is on my mind. And sometimes it's eloquent, and sometimes it's just foul and trash, and sometimes it's kind, and sometimes it's mean. And sometimes I can be, I speak my mind. And sometimes that's loud and sometimes it's kind, but keeping my mouth shut has not really been something I've learned and I'm learning now to do. Sorry, more poop bags. Here we go. At least you know that I'm cleaning up after my dog. Please clean up after your dogs, guys. Nothing is more frustrating going to a park and, you want to like hang out at the park and someone has the audacity to let their dog take a big old crap and then not pick it up. Like, who does that? I mean, if you don't have a dog bag, if you're just like, oh my God, I completely forgot a dog bag. Oh my God, how embarrassing. This will never happen again. Okay, I understand sometimes shit happens. Get it? Shit happens. So you also get jokes. You get corny jokes on this podcast. Yeah. For its lack of professionalism and actual, like, you know, has anything in it that's worthwhile, then you get silly sense of humor. Isn't that wonderful? But I get that. Like everybody, stuff happens, shit happens. Or if you're in the middle of the woods and your dog poops off of a trail, I mean, it's much better to have natural poop than put a bag around it. You don't put a bag, even if it's biodegradable. So is poop. Poop is very biodegradable. It's a lot more biodegradable than that plastic bag you just put it in. So, if it's out of people's way and they can't step on it and it's out in nature and you're on a trail and they like go poop off into the woods, I don't think you should have to pick it up. Other than that, if it's where other people are going to be running around like a park, for criminal sakes, geez Louise, pick up your dog's poop. It is so weird not to. It's just very weird. Anyway, I'm digressing a lot about poop. This portion of Ramblings of an Insomniac is brought to you by poop. And I'm all breathy because I'm walking really fast and I'm trying to like carry my dog. Anyway, okay, so point being, quality of life. My cat's getting old, my dog's getting old. At what point do I say, whether it's hard on me or not, I have to make that choice? My cat's in great shape. Yeah, my dog has got some bad teeth, which is really important to take care of. His teeth are bad. However, he's doing pretty well. I know you guys are like you said, he only can see shadows and partially deaf, but he runs along and plays and frolics and has a great time. But us as humans, if our quality of life isn't great, we need to figure out what to do about that because we can't be on this earth just suffering. And we can't be on this earth suffering other people's burdens, that's for sure. It's hard enough to suffer your own crap. It's hard enough to deal with your own stress. And then you pile on other people's and, that's a lot of weight to be carrying around. And then it makes it hard to stand up straight. When you have all that weight just weighing you down, how are you going to hold your head up high? How are you going to show any kind of confidence? So we all need to do that. We all need to hold our heads high, shoulders back. Just like I was saying, posture. Keep your head up like there is a string attached to the ceiling, shoulders back, confident. Walk that walk. Talk the talk, walk the walk. Do what is good for your mental and physical well-being. Do what is safe, of course, safe and healthy, and will make you mentally and physically happy and healthy. We don't need to wait around waiting to be happy. Let's just do that shit now, And if it makes you happy to listen to this podcast, then by all means, you should continue to do so. You should absolutely tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a partner, tell a coworker, shout it from the rooftops. Listen to the Ramblings of an Insomniac. Listen to the Ramblings of an Insomniac. It's fantastic. I appreciate you all so, so very much. Thank you. And until next time.